Welcome back, everybody. We have some updates and news we're going to go over that we have gotten over the last day or so. We'll be covering suspensions, positional changes, injuries, and more. First, manager Dave Roberts announced today, March 8th, that Mookie Betts will be playing shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers for the foreseeable future. Dodgers' initial plans were to have Gavin Lux at shortstop and called him their shortstop opening day. But after a rough start to spring training with the glove and the arm, it looks like Mookie is going to get the opportunity to be the shortstop now. Lux is coming back from an ACL injury last year and looks like he has also gotten a case of the yips. All through the minor leagues, Lux was primarily a shortstop, but since he was called up to the bigs in 2019, he's played all over the field. He has played second base, shortstop, and left field mostly, with a couple of appearances at third base, center field, and right field. One good thing about this for Lux is that when he has played second base, though, he has been really good there. He has produced positive defensive runs saved and outs above average at the position. Hopefully that helps him out a bit and he can get out of that rut that he has been in and produce at the level that he was projected to when he was a top prospect in baseball. As far as Mookie Betts goes, this dude is an athlete. He can play anywhere. Mookie has played 1,176 games in the outfield, 100 games at second base, and 16 games at shortstop during his career. Nobody in MLB history has played 1,000 games in the outfield while also playing 100 games each at second base and shortstop. So he is looking to make history this year. When he has played shortstop, though, for those 16 games, even though it's a small sample size, he does have a negative 2 outs above average. I'm not sure if he will hold up there and play a majority of the games at shortstop, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. It was also reported that Lars Nootbaar, the projected starting left fielder for the Cardinals, has 2 rib fractures on his left side after a fall he suffered earlier in the week trying to make a catch. The Cardinals are still hopeful, though, that he will be ready for opening day in 3 weeks. Noelvi Marte, a big blow for the Cincinnati Reds. The number one prospect and started third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds has been suspended for 80 days for a steroid called boldenone. This also means that when he does come back in the middle of the season, he will not be available to play in the postseason. At that point, I wonder if it's just better to send him to AAA if the Reds are in contention. That way, they do not disrupt any of the other guys on the team, whoever's playing third base, whether that's Candelario or whoever they decide. This isn't something that can mistakenly get into your body, as this is something that you have to inject. So, no excuses for him on why this could be in his body. Unfortunately, he just decided to do this. This does open up a full-time role for another Reds top prospect, though, Christian Encarnacion Strand. The Reds can handle this a few different ways. They can either move Candelario to third base and put Strand at first base, which I think makes the most sense, but they could also move Phenom Ellie De La Cruz to third base and move Matt McLean to shortstop, and then that opens up second base for Jonathan India, who was projected to be on the bench if Marte was on the roster. I'm definitely interested to see what the Reds will do. Before we move on, though, we would really appreciate it if you guys could hit that like button and subscribe. This really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, while you can also stay in touch with us and know when we drop our next videos. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. Next, Joey Votto has been on social media pretty much begging for a job. He's been taking photos, trying to portray movie scenes. He has been all over social media, podcasts, trying to get a job. Finally, Friday, the Blue Jays have signed him to a deal as a non-roster invitee. I think he could definitely find a spot on the bench with them, also bringing another veteran presence to that clubhouse. Votto is also from Toronto, so wearing a Blue Jays uniform in the bigs, I'm sure means a lot to him if he can make that team. Jasson Dominguez is continuing to rehab from his Tommy John injury, and it is going smoothly. He had already started to hit from the right side of the plate 2 weeks ago, while also throwing from 60 feet. We received an update yesterday that he is now throwing from 75 feet and will start hitting from the left side next week on Monday. Looks like Jasson is doing well. Hopefully back to playing sometime in May and maybe back with the big league club sometime this summer if there are any openings. Lastly, there has been a report out there that JD Martinez is in talks with the Miami Marlins as he is looking for a 2-year deal, whether that's with the Marlins or whoever he signs with. JD is another Scott Boras client that we know have been having trouble this offseason getting contracts because of their asking prices and teams being unwilling to meet those prices. Any team that does get JD Martinez, though, will be getting a veteran presence in that clubhouse that has a lot of knowledge about the game, specifically hitting. Not only that, though, at the age of 36, he's still an above average major league hitter. That is all the news and updates I have for you today. If you are still watching, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a comments down below with your thoughts. Thank you, and see you on the next one.